#1, scored more points per game than anybody in the NBA. And they were also the third best shooting team, including 3 3-pointers.
Steve Blake has not shot the ball well this year.
It's just been superb. They keep it alive. Paul for 3.
Well, it's obvious that the Warriors' strategy is to try to keep size.
DeAndre Jordan. Barnes back to Paul. Paul for 3. Paul gets it back after the initial turnover. The
isolation, which led to Klay Thompson getting a wide open 3.
Yet they lead by 8 on the road. Paul, hop step, layup, banks it in. 6-point game. Still looking to help. Paul, a 3-pointer.
And down into the middle of the lane.
Paul for 3. Bang! Tie game with 2:25 remaining.
Right there at 13 in game 1. Here comes Paul shifting gears to the rack. Here's the screen. Paul. This is over on this team. Enormous. Paul. Screen by Griffin. Shot clock at 2. Paul from 3. Iguodala is on Chris Paul. Here comes Chris Paul the other way. Jordan with the screen. Thompson tries to fight Griffin with the
protecting the rim once again.
5 blocks. Here comes Chris Paul. Jordan and Blake Griffin.
Watch Griffin in that 3-point corner.
Switch. Wow. What a shot. That was over.
For Stephen Curry. Chris Paul left open and shoot. Will play through them for the most part. In recent years, Chris Paul, Matt Barnes, go up top to Paul, hesitates and then released his statement talking about the broad powers that the NBA has, a very wide range of sanction. Ranger to Turkoglu. Paul tries a 3. That's good. Deal.
It's Golden State turnover. Here comes Paul.
Obviously, it's something he didn't want to do.
Paul, 3.
Is a lower back contusion still being evaluated in the locker room. Kevin?
Thank you, Chris Paul. It's Chris Paul. 10 to 12. Curry defends. Paul with the move. Down to 2. The triple. Paul! On the shot. First offering tonight. Chris Paul, 3 over Iguodala. Right down the boulevard. Here comes Redick. He just checked in. Paul, open 3. Dent in this series. They get by Curry. Here is Paul. Bad hamstring and all. Chris Paul, 3 of 7. Green is on him. Shot clock at 1. He's got a 5.
3%.
Chris Paul the other way with a pumper and a drop. That on a switch. Steps back at Ibaka.
I thought it was the best sports speech since Lou Gehrig.
He came here for Doc Rivers, and he felt that there were some great people in the organization. Paul goes back door. Paul for 3. Paul 7 points, 6 assists so far. Elbow jump. Team shot a higher percentage. Paul, 6 feet. 4 to shoot. Paul from way downtown. Back. Jordan's had his best game in this series so far. Paul to the basket again.
Again there for Durant on the mismatch.
Well, he had 34. As the Clippers being manhandled right now. Paul's jump shot is 22. Paul bounce past Collison. Ball tipped to Paul, trying to draw the foul, and he's going for OKC. Paul sidesteps, layup, counted and 1. Paul with the strip. Adams in pursuit. Paul back up to a dozen. Paul fakes, scoop layup,
and make quicker decisions.
Paul looking for an opening. Another fake call. That was not a clear path foul, and they're not in the penalty. Paul to the basket, layup.
Possession. Paul
in game 5. Paul hit a 6-point game. Paul lines it up. Paul defended Westbrook beautifully there. Paul left open. Westbrook that time. Paul gets inside, lays it in. Paul, Barnes, back up top. Paul the fake, the runner is good.
Play on.
Paul, foul by Jackson, shot's good. For OKC, 28 of 31, that's 90%. Paul pulls back, Paul has to put up a 3. knocks that one in. Makes it a 5-point game.